them on the screen as well. So no worries there.
Is it just the four of us that are playing this?
No, there'll be a fifth player, but he has not gotten back to me, so he will be. He's going to be invisible for this for the purposes of this game, for the tech test anyway.
Okay.
Hey everybody out there in Twitch, my name's Carlos A.S. Lysing. Welcome to the character draft for From Dark Rose's Black Thorns Grow. It will be the newest module released by Casl Entertainment. I'm super excited about this project because, number one, it is the continuation of probably my most popular module line, which is the Marquesa module line. For those of you who have played the Slave Lords series, this is the spiritual successor to those. So I'm really excited about that. But more than that, I'm excited to introduce you three of my four players for this session. Over here on my left, that will be Steve Fritzma. Steve, welcome. Linda Booth down there in the middle. And Magnus is not going to be with us, it doesn't look like tonight, so he's in the middle center there. And over there on the right, this is my good friend Greg Johnson. Everybody, thank you very much for joining in. And for those of you who have not played in a Casl Entertainment project before, the way that we do characters around the table for convention play is we have what's called a character draft. And what that means is that everybody will roll percentage dice, and the high roller, it's very simple. They get to pick the first character, and then in descending order past then, we go and we pick characters from there. So for the character draft, I'm gonna ask everybody, could you please roll me percentage dice and tell me what you get?
I have a 38.
38. Steve?
I have a 53.
53. Greg?
I'm fumbling with my dice pouch.
Okay.
See what I got.
I was actually hoping for a lower number because I'm so torn.
Carlos, I think say that I'm happy to play whatever the party needs. I'm not.
Yes, actually, we're going to do something a little bit fun tonight too with that. So, yeah,
okay.
Don't worry about filling in cracks.
All right, I rolled a 57.
Okay, so Greg is actually the first pick in the draft. That might be the lowest number I've ever seen win the draft. But, okay, everybody, so now that you have seen that, here are the character sheets. I'm going to be putting them up on twitch.com for everyone to see. Right over there. Those are the characters, and I will introduce them one by one for everybody to look at, all right? The first will be the Dispute and Flame Maskra Alex. Maskra is an Iridian Sul human female. She's a 6th level cleric of Jorami, the goddess of wrath, volcanoes, and fire. She's neutral good, as is her goddess. Over there on the next would be the One-Eyed Crow. The One-Eyed Crow is a half-orc male. He's a 6th level fighter. He's lawful neutral. I should also mention out there for those in Twitch, the players here have all seen the character backgrounds. So they've got a little bit of insight to these characters that you don't have at home. So if you hear them refer to certain tenets about the characters, don't be surprised. They have a little bit more insight than you do. We'll go over that as going forward. And there we go. I like it, Steve. That's doing your homework right there. Next up is the Knight Errant Margot Chevalier. She is a Flan Zul human female. She's a 5th level paladin of Mayahine, and she's lawful good. The next will be the Huntress, the Flan human female, who is a 5th level ranger, and she's chaotic good. Simon Galavar is an Iridian human male. He's a 5th level magic user, and he's lawful good. Miha Varni, he is a Rene human male, and he's a 6th level thief. He's chaotic good. We have Brother Talib Ibn Zuoken, who is a Baklunish human male. He's a 5th level monk of Zuoken. He's lawful neutral in alignment. If you'll pardon me for just one moment. I made the mistake of not closing one of my windows. Going next would be Lambeg Badgerheart. He's a surface gnome male. He's a 6th level illusionist, 5th level thief, and he's chaotic neutral in alignment. Next would be Sadran Ilaeth. He is a gray elf male. He's a 6th level fighter, 4th level magic user with chaotic good alignment. Next would be Alastra Villanelle, who is a Iridian human female. She's a 5th level cleric of Celestiana and a 4th level magic user, neutral good in alignment. Next would be Kavra Ironshield, a 4th level fighter, 5th level thief. hill dwarf female who is lawful neutral. And lastly, but not leastly, we have Glade Lotus Blossom, who is a Harefoot Halfling female, 5th level druid of Sheila Pararoyal, and a 5th level thief, true neutral in alignment. Now, for those of you out there who are watching these characters lists, and you're thinking to yourself, what is going on with these characters? It's pretty simple. These characters, a lot of the combinations are taken from Unearthed Arcana. For example, the Glade Lotus Blossom's combination of being a druid thief was not legal until Unearthed Arcana. It's legal now. You'll see some of the other characters where they have imbalanced levels. That is because they're all based on an experience point total. I have based them on the fact that they've gone this far in their experience, and now that is the level of ability they've been able to achieve based on that level of experience. So for those of you who are wondering how those characters were built, that's how they were built. Also, the way that I introduced them, you'll notice that I introduced them using their actual Greyhawk names. Everybody knows it's probably the worst kept secret in the world that I run a Greyhawk game with the numbers filed off just so I can respect Wizards of the Coast IP, which is important to me. I wouldn't want anybody stealing my stuff like that. So I want them to have the opportunity to if they want to do another Slave Lord module, they could very easily, and just ignore my stuff like that. So that's where that is the basis of what you're looking at over here. Gregory, with no further ado, I believe that you are first on our list. Who would you like to play in our game of those characters?
Well, as I mentioned, I'm happy to play whatever the party needs, and I think it's important that we have a well-balanced party.
I agree.
So, I was looking at the 6th level thief.
Okay.
Miha, I can't say the last name.
Avarni. Okay, and by the way, we have just had a new addition to the game. Magnus Miller-Wilson is here. Magnus, let me format my screen slightly.
Magnus needs to roll his D100.
He does. Magnus, could you please roll me a D100?
Oh, I'd be happy to.
You weren't here for the preamble of the game.
I was not.
So, yeah. But that's okay.
So,
with that, all I basically said is we're doing a character draft.
38.
Okay, hold on for just a second while I format the screen so they can see everybody's smiling face. I'd hate for that not to be able to happen. Linda, there you are. Let's see who's next.
I'm seeing double.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna get rid of a couple screens. So if you guys just give me a moment.
Hi, Linda.
Hey, how you doing?
Everybody that does not know Magnus Miller-Wilson, Magnus Miller-Wilson down there at the bottom corner. Magnus is a good friend of mine. He plays in my first Betrayal game. He is an expert gamer, just like the rest of you guys, and I know you guys will really get to like him. For those of you who haven't played with him before, Magnus isn't one of the things that I think Magnus brings to the table, especially well, is he's just such a great role player. He really brings his characters to life. So anybody who's been watching the first Betrayal knows that very well. Magnus, what was your percentage die roll? Excuse me?
38.
Okay,
100.
good. So you're near the bottom. That doesn't really affect anything that's happened so far at all.
If anybody takes my character, I'll just do a backstab and...
Well, I have a funny feeling your character just got picked anyway, but that's okay. Greg, you said you wanted to pick Miha, right?
I could pass on that if he wants to play Miha.
Magnus, did you desperately want to play the thief?
It doesn't matter a whole lot. I mean, I love playing thieves, but...
I know you do. That's why I said I figured that was what you were going with.
I mean, I don't have to play my personality. I could try something else.
Well, I'll change my selection then, Carlos.
That's fine. Who would you like to play then, Greg?
There's a magic user, Simon Galavar.
Simon Galavar. Simon is a great character because with Simon, you also get your familiar.
Oh, that's right. I love interacting with the NPCs.
Yes, Princess Calliope. Princess Calliope is a fae she's a brownie who claims that she is of true fae heritage, and she claims that she is actually nobility as a true fae. So that she's a little bit of a difficult personality sometimes, but she absolutely adores Simon. So she'll be a lot of fun for me to role play through this. So
All
that's
right.
good.
That's
Okay,
fine.
Gregory, you've got and everybody's screen's formatted. We can all see your smiling faces.
No,
Okay,
if you like the thief, you can go for it, dude. I just started looking at this.
I'm actually, I think based on what Carlos has described of the familiar, I think I'm going to enjoy playing a magic user more.
Okay.
okay. So we have Simon Galavar is now off the list. So showing everybody what the list was one more time, what the draft list looks like.
I don't see that on my screen. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm pulling it up right now.
Okay.
Okay, Simon is off the list. Now Gregory is playing Simon Galavar. Okay, I believe the next person on the list would be Steve Fritzma. Steve, who would you like to play on?
I love playing spellcasting thieves. So I'm really tempted by Glade Lotus Blossom, but I'm also taken with Mrs. Furious, the Dispute and Flame Master Alex.
The Dispute and Flame is so much
fun. It's going to be
fun.
a riot to roleplay because she doesn't put up with anyone's crap.
No, she does not. The Dispute and Flame in my game, Jorami is an interesting goddess because Jorami, if you follow the Greyhawk, the different material that's out, they never really say where she came from. She has kind of been adopted by the Flan pantheon and given the role as lawmaker and lawgiver. So she is she's one of the people that put forth laws for the Flanish people. As a result, you tend to see people the members of her clergy as lawyers or they're judges or things like that. So it doesn't really. That's one of the reasons why they don't put up with too much bunk.
So I'm torn. So I wanted to offer to Magnus or Linda, if they wanted either one, I would take the other. But I think Linda already expressed a desire to play the Huntress. Is that correct?
Yes, she did.
Yes.
Okay. So Magnus, which thief were you after?
So there is a druid thief, isn't there?
There is a druid thief.
I want to play the druid thief.
Okay.
Then I will be Alex.
Okay. Maskra Alex, the Disputant Flame, a cleric of Jorami, is now off the board. And because you rolled next, Magnus, now Glade Lotus Blossom is off the board.
Yes.
And that means finally, in the character draft, Linda would go, and she is taking the Huntress off the board. Okay, cool. This character draft went extremely smoothly, everyone. So now everyone can see on the sheet that I've listed on who is available, who is not. The last characters that were left were the One-Eyed Crow, Margot Chevalier, Miha Varney, Talib Zuokin, Lambig Badgerheart, Sadrana Lath, Alastra Villanelle, and Kavra Ironshield. Okay? Now, the characters that have been picked have been a magic user, a cleric, a ranger, and a druid thief. That means that your characters are pretty well rounded, okay? However, that being said, in this game is actually it's the scope of it is a little bit higher level than for 4 players. There should probably be a 5th player involved. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run one of these characters as an NPC. And I am going to turn over to you, players, who I'm going to play as an NPC. So if there's one character there that you found especially interesting or you think would dovetail well with the party's abilities, go ahead and pick them.
I nominate Kavra Ironshield, so there's a second thief to choose.
Kavra is also a good frontline person if you don't feel like you guys are a little lacking in frontline combatants.
We don't have a tank, and this way we can have 2 trap checks, open lock checks.
That's a very strong possibility.
I nominate the One-Eyed Crow.
I second that nomination.
For a tank.
Because it looks like a fighter, but almost like an orc barbarian type.
Yeah.
That would be a good front line, but then at the same time dovetails well with my spiritual beliefs.
There's a couple things about the One-Eyed Crow to keep in mind. Number one, the game will be taking place in the Pomage, all right? which is in the bottom of the Wild Coast anyway.
Not true.
That is a very heavily orc-laden area. So the one-eyed crow will probably not stand out too much in such an area. He is also a very gritty frontline combatant. He's used to hardship. Kavra is a very heroic type. She's been a spy within the Pomarge for a very long period of time. So either one of them are excellent choices. I have those two nominations. Is there anyone else that would like to nominate a particular player character? I'll flash them up on the board again. Some things that these other players bring to bear. Miha, somebody mentioned another thief check. Steve mentioned that. Miha is probably the best thief among the group, statistically. Brother Talib remember, he's a monk, so he does have thief abilities and a stealth ability and a speed advantage that not many people can match. Lambic Badgerheart is used to underground. He's got thief abilities as well, and he's used to an underground fighting environment. Long infravision. Cedron brings a lot as far as offense goes, as does Margot Chevalier. Margot, also being a paladin, can detect evil. Alastra, being a secondary healer, is always good, and she has spellcasting abilities. So every one of these characters would contribute very greatly to your cause. So it's really up to you. But I've heard the One-Eyed Crow, and I've heard Kavra. Is there anybody else that anyone is considering?
I would vote for a cleric of some sort.
Okay, so we'll throw out there as a possibility Alastra.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Alastra is also on the list of people that we would consider.
We do have a cleric and a druid already.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Final votes, anyone?
Then it would be fine with a One-Eyed Crow is fine. Yeah.
One-Eyed Crow? I have one person. Okay, we have some. Gregory, what do you got?
I was going to nominate the One-Eyed Crow as well.
Okay, we have two for the One-Eyed Crow. Magnus nominated him firstly, so I would assume that that's him as well.
Yes.
The One-Eyed Crow is now by party majority in the group. I will be playing him as an NPC. So this is the list of...
I want to hear your orc voice. I can't wait.
My orc voice sounds a little bit like this because the One-Eyed Crow, he's been disfigured terribly throughout his life, as you know.
I love it!
He suffered greatly at the hands of his fellow orcs, and I am prepared for revenge.
Excellent.
Thanks.
So the One-Eyed Crow is with your list. Now we have player characters in place. The last thing I need to ask you all is the following, and then we can adjourn for the evening. I'll know everything I need to know. In first edition D&D, many of you are more familiar than others with it. There is a role within the party called the Caller. Okay, the Caller is the party leader. The party leader who tells me what everybody will be doing. He establishes marching order, things like that. All right. I need you to pick who the Caller is going to be, who your nominal party head will be, that I will primarily interact when I need a final ruling on something. Obviously, I will, when it comes to each one of your characters individually, you'll hear me address you individually, and we will communicate that way. But when I'm talking about the party as a whole, I'll be talking about the Caller. Who wants to be the Caller? Don't everybody answer at once.
I nominate Magnus since he's played with you a lot and can understand.
Magnus, you've been nominated as party caller. Will you accept that charge?
Okay.
Magnus is the party caller.
Definitely.
Excellent. This is good.
I can't guarantee that I will make the right call, but I will make a fun call.
Perfect.
You're probably playing the funnest character.
I will say that every single one of these characters, you know what? I'm going to be totally honest with you. When I did these characters, and we're looking at them right now on the screen again, I did something I probably shouldn't do as a DM, which is I went out of my way to make the 12 coolest characters I possibly could, because the characters took on their own lives in the Marquesa adventures.
And then you made sweet, sweet love to them?
Yeah, people started to really become attached to them, and I thought to myself, you know what? I need to one-up this somehow. So I made sure everybody had a super cool background. There's not one loser in this group as far as
There never is, Carlos. You don't give yourself enough credit. All of your characters are great.
I faked myself out because I had Glade number 1.
Oh,
And I basically have been playing a clone of Glade for years and thought,
I was startled. That was an upset that you picked Blade. So just going down the list one more time. Here's our list starting from the left, going to the right, and make so that I'm sure that I have everybody's characters correctly. Steve Friedzman will be playing the Disputant Flame, Maskra Alex. Linda Booth will be playing the Huntress. Magnus Miller Wilson will be playing, as we go forward, you'll be playing Glade Lotus Blossom. And Gregory will be playing Simon Galavar. And yours truly will be playing as an NPC, the One-Eyed Crow, who I actually wrote, as I recall, out in the parking lot of a hospital while my wife was in getting a procedure done. So I was probably in full-on rage mode at that point in time. So he should do very well for everyone.
Perfect.
I think that's everything I have, unless anyone has any questions about the way the game will take place, our format. All of your tech looks superb. Your pictures look great. I'm looking at the frame rates right now. All your connections are awesome. So this should work really, really well. Does anyone have any questions for me?
Question about what style of initiative you use?
We do individual initiative. And the reason I do individual initiative, Steve, is because there are characters in this group that have strong advantages to dexterity. I will not penalize them based on that. They should be able to use the full extent of their ability. For example,
No D10 by segment?
no, we're doing D6.
Okay.
The reason I do individual initiative again, though, imagine this: your group is fighting a bunch of bugbears out there, okay? And I make you roll group initiative, and you roll a 3, okay? They roll a 6. Well, let's say Magnus's character has a 17 initiative. His advantage should probably mitigate that to some degree. But I'm penalizing him by the fact that I've chosen to go with the group initiative because it's easier. I don't like that. I like giving you guys all your own benefits.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody else?
Carlos, from just a tech question, I can see everybody's picture on the cameras. I can see you great. Is there stuff that you're posting that I'm supposed to be able to see? Because
when the time comes, I will be when our game actually comes out, I will ask you guys to be also watching Twitch, the feed, so that you guys can actually see the maps and things like that I put up. I was doing that today as well. That's what I was saying when I was cutting back and forth the character sheets. So that's that you'll be watching the Twitch feed as well as this.
okay, because I didn't see.
I did notice that Greg is about half the volume of the other 4 of you.
Yeah, let me go ahead and I'll play with that just a little bit here.
Ooh. Is something I need to do on my end? Let me know.
It may be on your end. We're gonna try that right now.
It's a tad hollow sounding.
Yeah, go ahead and on your side, see if you can turn up your volume.
I assume you're using your laptop microphone without a headset?
No, I'm using the camera, the webcam that has a microphone.
Oh, okay. Is
Which
there
is
anything
what I'm doing
covering
as
it?
well. Let me see if I can get you a little louder.
It sounds like maybe there's like a piece of paper covering it or something. Just a
It does
guess.
a little bit.
Alright, go into audio settings.
Oh, we have a drop. We have people moved. You guys placed musical chairs there for a moment. You guys are gonna keep me on my toes like that. I can see. That's all right. Linda stayed static. That's awesome.
It's weird that you can't lock the windows. I wonder if there's some internal setting that you could
Boy,
do
do
that.
I wish I could do that because it would save me so much
pain
and
changing
agony.
with the overlay, right?
Yeah, because I'm constantly having to move overlay when that happens. But I knew this job was dangerous when I took it. In the immortal words of Super Chicken.
I'm getting a new headset this week, so I might have to have you test volumes and stuff.
Perfectly
before
fine.
we play next time. So
Perfectly fine. Nobody else has any in-game questions?
nope, I'm good.
Nope.
Perfect.
I noticed Alex has a large shield +1, but she fights with a quarterstaff. Can she have the shield and fight with the staff?
She can, yes.
Okay.
Yes. The large shield, because it is a magical shield, it is weightless, so I rule that it can be used easily one-handed.
Got it.
So did I miss something obvious about our schedule?
Yeah, but that's okay. I missed it too. When I woke up, Amanda goes, "Hey, by the way, did you know you have a show tonight?" I'm like, "What?"
What?
Yeah, so I'm wiping sleep out of my eyes as we speak.
Was it announced in our Facebook channel?
It was, yeah.
Okay, I'll make sure that I check that then.
Well, like I said, it's my fault as well. I wasn't ready for class either, so I was doing a lot of formatting into the.
But I'm the speaker. I'm the speaker now. I can't let anybody down.
No, you cannot. You are the speaker.
It's like I've got the
I
weight
can't
of
believe,
your
by the
collective
way,
worlds
I
on my
cannot
shoulders.
believe, by the way, that the lawgiver herself, the priestess of Jorami, is not being your group caller, but that's okay. Steve, that's me cleric shaming you right there.
Yes. When I heard that you've played often with Magnus, that's why I nominated him because
Right.
and
I'm just relieved that poor Gregory didn't have to be the caller again. Gregory gets stuck being the team leader in every game I play.
The thief will often lead the way through if we're underground, so it makes sense to be kind of driving the bus.
Lead from the front, Magnus. That's what I like to hear. Greg, can you? How's your volume?
I put in a desktop mic. Does it sound better?
Slightly.
Okay.
I'm not saying 100%, but slightly.
Okay.
What do you guys think?
I'd say you're about 10% louder than you were.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
It's still muffled.
Spoken like an architect in 10% right there, by the way. Spoken like that.
What do the rest of y'all do?
I work at a Pioneer Seed warehouse, so I'm a farm seed industry.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I write
also freelance for the
I write
RPG
stupid
industry.
books for people.
Carlos, you walked all over me. Jeez.
No, I work in manufacturing. I'm on-site. I'm an on-site troubleshooter. Hey, whoa! You have it too. I love it. Boy, it makes a writer's heart sing. Look at that! It makes a writer's heart sing when he sees stuff like that.
Better be careful though, guys, or I'll pull out the MVP one I have.
Whoa! Character
That's
MVP.
why we're all here, right? We got outstanding player at some point.
It's true. It's true.
Yep.
You know, do I have a copy around here somewhere? No, I have the prototypes that we made up of From Dark Roses, right? And Amanda and I were really excited. We got them and we're like, whoa, these look great. And she looks at me, she goes, they look thick. And I went, huh? Thing turned out to be 128 pages.
Wow.
And we're like, oh my goodness, we need to do some reformatting on this. Because the formatting on it really expanded the product. And as it should turn out, it's still huge. It's like 96 pages, but it's a little less huge now.
What about you, Greg and Magnus?
I'm a workers' compensation judge for the state of Florida.
Ah,
Cool.
Nice.
I'm a
This mic
software.
sounds better. I don't know. I just changed it.
It does actually sound way better.
It does sound
Okay.
way better.
Okay, I think I clicked the right buttons then. I'm not as tech savvy as Carlos, so you'll have to forgive me.
No, it sounds
shoot.
actually amazing. You've got your noise gate filtering on. I'm a software quality engineer in the medical device industry up in Minneapolis.
Cool. So
And
everybody
occasionally
is,
I pretend I can help Linda, but I never do.
professionally, I've once again I'm overshadowed by my players. You guys are an impressive crew. So
you were basically Cavra early in your life, right?
I was. I
Great. You're doing what you love. That's what's important.
Yeah, that's true. But I think my whole life when I was younger, I think I wanted to be a professional hockey player. And so as I got older and older and I realized that that wasn't going to happen, I needed plan B, and it was late in the game. So, so yeah, I've kind of morphed into new roles in my jobs. So that's sort of how it goes. I've done everything from being a senior systems admin for a small a company to being a manager of a bookstore. So I've done a million different things.
As have I.
Yeah.
And I'm now getting my feet wet in the RPG industry. So
Yeah, Linda, tell us a little bit about that. That's awesome. The guys need to know about that.
I freelance create Fantasy Grounds modules for right now only Kobold Press, but I am working on recruiting others, and I'm hoping Carlos can send some feelers my way, so it'd be a great thing. But I do specialize in 5th edition for Fantasy Grounds, so which is a virtual tabletop if nobody knows.
He's also a great DM.
Oh,
Well, it helps when you have very veteran players that are working very well together.
there you go.
That's true.
There you go. I think any DM worth the salt would tell you that you're only as good as your players are, and I've been blessed with. I've managed to make some really awesome friends through this community and through Gary Con, and you guys make my product shine. So it's really gratifying that people have been interested and that people have polished them up enough to make them look good. Well, I promised you guys a very short session today, so I think that's about everything I have. Unless anybody has any parting questions.
No, it's nice to meet all of you. I'm really
Yeah,
excited.
good to meet you. This will be fun.
This is going to be great, guys. So for everybody out here down at the bottom of my screen, I have Steve, Linda, Magnus, Gregory. I'm Carlos A.S. Lysing. I'm the Dungeon Master for Castle Entertainment and for the playtest of From Dark Roses, Black Thorns Grow. For those of you out there who are getting ready to watch, yes, indeed, those of you out there who are getting ready to watch us play and are familiar with the Slave Lords series, the title will probably give away some of the secrets of what we're about to do, but that's just fine because knowing something and beating it are two totally different things. So, enjoy, everybody. Have a good evening. And playtesters, stick around just for a second. I'll say my goodbyes on Zoom, and we'll sign off from there. Have a good evening, everyone. And